Welcome to today's tutorial by Caz Academy. See the links below for the accompanying handout as well as additional supports and resources to help you pass your ACCUPLACER exam. Questions about point of view are asking you questions about who is talking, and we can identify who is talking by looking at the pronouns. First person is when the characters are speaking and acting. First person is one character, and we can identify that through the pronouns I and me. First person plural is when two or more characters are speaking, and we can identify that through the pronouns I, me, we, and us. Third person is when a narrator or observer is speaking about the characters. Third person limited is when the narrator is talking about one character. We can identify that with the male pronouns of he, him, and his, the female pronouns of she, her, and hers, and the non-human pronoun of it. Third person omniscient is when the narrator or observer is talking about two or more characters. We can identify that through the male pronouns, the female pronouns, the non-human pronouns, and the plural pronouns of they and them. Here are some examples showing the subject, pronouns, and point of view. The author will always list the subject along with the corresponding pronouns. Notice how you can have the same subject, but if the pronouns are different, it changes who is talking. If Tom is talking, we'll have the pronoun of I and me, and that will be the first person. If a narrator is talking about Tom, the pronouns will be he, him, and his, and that will be third person limited. Notice also that when we have the pronouns of they and them, most of the time that is going to be for multiple characters, and that would be third person omniscient. But if it's a more modern or current text, the they, them may also be used by an individual to refer as a gender neutral pronoun, and that would be third person limited. Let's look at an example using the pronouns to help us identify point of view. The question asks, what is the point of view used in this passage? First person plural, third person limited, or third person omniscient. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to look for the pronouns. This is two paragraphs, so we'll start with the first one. We have he, so we're seeing this is third person pronoun, male pronoun. So we can just look at the pronouns. We don't even have to read the paragraph to be able to identify that this is going to be third person. So that automatically gets rid of the first two options, and we can see that the paragraph is referring to the man. So that's consistent with the male pronouns, and our subject is the man. One of the ways you can identify, they're always going to list the subject, and you can replace any of these pronouns with the man, and it's still going to make sense. That's one of the ways you know that you have the correct pronoun. Now let's look at the second paragraph to see, is the author going to continue talking about the man, or is he going to introduce another character? So we're looking at, and we see here that it says, at the man's heels trotted a dog, and we have the dog, the animal, the dog. So right here, that tells us that we are going to be looking at the dog. That looks like that's what the author is going to talk about. Now let's look at the pronouns to confirm it. So you can look for the subject first, or you can look for the subject afterwards to confirm it. So now we're going to look for, we know that the dog is non-human, so that is going to be an it pronoun. Here we have it right here. You can tell the it pronoun is a pronoun because it's followed by a verb. It knew, and we can replace that it with the dog. The dog knew. That helps to identify that it is being used as a pronoun. The other way we can identify it as a pronoun is when it's in this possessive it's, and it's referring to something about the subject. So its instinct. So we're looking for it and its. And we've got another one here. And we have its brain, it experienced, its instinct, subdued it, it slink, it question, it wanted, its warmth. So here we see we have our subject is the dog. The pronoun is it, and so once again we have the dog, and this is third person. So we know that our answer is going to be third person omniscient because the author is talking about the man in the first paragraph and is talking about the dog in the second paragraph. So when you have your passages, you're looking for the pronouns. It's also good to identify what is the subject those pronouns are referred to. So any of these pronouns, that subject can replace that pronoun and the sentence is going to make sense. In your passage, each paragraph, the author might introduce a different character, or they might talk about multiple characters within the same paragraph. Point of view questions are asking you who is speaking. We can identify who is speaking by looking at the pronouns used in the passage. First person is when the characters are speaking and acting. First person is one character speaking, and that will have the pronouns of I and me. First person plural will be two or more characters speaking directly. We'll see that with the pronouns I, me, we, and us. Third person is when a narrator or observer is speaking about the characters. Third person limited is when the narrator is talking about one character. We'll see that with the male pronouns of he, him, and his, female pronouns of she, her, and hers, and the non-human pronoun of it. Third person omniscient is when the narrator or observer is talking about two or more characters. We'll see that with the male pronouns, the female pronouns, the non-human pronoun, and the plural pronouns of they and them. I hope you have found this helpful. Be sure to like and subscribe to get the latest videos by Caz Academy. Also be sure to check out the links in the description to get the accompanying handout as well as additional supports and resources to help you succeed with your ACCUPLACER exam.